Hello, bonjour, buenos dias, namaste, hajime mashite, ni hao, assalamu alaikum. Everybody out there on the internet, welcome to Chat with Tekken for July 2023. So, Chat with Tekken, if you don't know, is basically three things, or three main things to talk about. So, we've got videos I'm working on for the channel, changes of stuff on the channel, IRL stuff. Then under videos I'm working on, there are subcategories, playthroughs and streams, vlogs, DIY, do-it-yourself stuff, how-tos and other stuff I might be working on for the channel. And the other two categories don't have subcategories because they're things that happened or didn't, with anecdotes and asides sprinkled in. That being said, I kind of need to redo this whole. This is all like needing to be like just ripped up and fixed, but whatever. I don't want to mess up the intro because I haven't done it yet. So yeah. Anyway, because videos I'm working on is basically usually what I'm like playing through on stream anyway. So it's not really, separate. It's kind of like combined. And then it's the last couple of these I've been like, man, I should really do something about this and change it. And I keep forgetting to change the format. And then as I'm doing the video, I'm like, hmm, and then yeah. But back to the topic at hand. Videos I'm working on. So I went back to the Forza deep dive. Oh, okay. Something happened. I was like, something happened that made me do that. So when Baldur's Gate 3 got delayed, I was going to play that game right when it came out, but it got delayed. But it didn't get delayed on PC, and it's like, dude, that's not cool. But then when it got delayed on console, or at least PS5, it's like it got delayed until the same week as Starfield. So it's like, dude, Starfield is like a massive, or I imagine it's going to be a massive game, and it's like Baldur's Gate, also a massive game. So it's like, okay, you've got two games here that are very large and meaty. Only choose one. I already pre-ordered Starfield. Strike one for Baldur's Gate 3. I haven't played the first Baldur's Gate game. Strike two for Baldur's Gate 3, and then just I'm like way more hyped for Starfield. So it's like sorry Baldur's Gate 3, you're not gonna get drafted to the team. Sorry, but there's always next year, right? Or whenever. But yeah, it's like F and I haven't even played the other two games, and I'm gonna check those out. So that's the plan. Um, and Baldur's Gate 3, I'll pick it up eventually. I'm gonna wait for the thing where games like out for 6 to 12 months and it's half off. Because yeah, it's like at first I was like, oh, it's cool. They just delayed it. But then it's like, wait a minute. So you're telling me it's out on PC, but it's not out on console. So if I would have been getting it on PC on console anyway, I'd have been like waiting a month or whatever. Compared to PC players, I can get it, a month early. No, I feel personally insulted by that. So that's not happening, Larian Studios. You're not getting my money for a while for that one, but maybe you'll get it eventually, but just not all of it. Haha. Or as as much as you want, or maybe it's a publisher thing that they're like, oh, we just the publisher wants the money, the developers just want you to play the game. Anyway, um, so yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is like off the list. Um, and then I am working on that Forza deep dive. I'm up to the last game. Oh, I guess I should specify. So basically, there are the two series, right? Because you've got, Motorsport, Forza Motorsport, the just straight up sim racing game, and then you got Forza Horizon open world, more arcadey style. But I'm just doing the baseline Forza stuff, or not the baseline, but like the non-Horizon games. So like just straight up Forza Motorsport experience. And then getting to driver level 25, and then once I get to the driver level 25, moving on to that next game. And so I'm all the way up. Okay, so I encountered a problem. Typical, right? It's like I got up to Forza 6, and then I'd already played Forza 6. But then when I tried to delete my save so I could just play a new file for the deep dive, it was not. Well, I could delete my local save, right? I'm not about to delete it from the cloud because I don't want to like delete everything. I'm like, dude, I'm not starting over from zero. So I was like, I just wanted to like delete the local save, and I'm like, okay, I'll just back up the other save to like USB, which I guess is probably what I'm gonna have to do. I'm probably gonna just have to back up my other save to USB if that's even possible, because I haven't I haven't figured it out yet. I mean, I haven't like got around like messing with it. I'm just like, dude, I'll just come back to this. It's like whatever. It's just I've got a video of this on my channel. It's whatever. But yeah, Forza 6. it's like it's like I delete the save and I load the game up and it's like syncing data or whatever, and it's like, wait, what? I didn't. And then it's like, oh, your save is back on your console. We downloaded it from the cloud. And it's like, oh, thanks, console. Um, so it's like, yeah, that was, and that's like, oh, my save's restored. I can't just play from the from zero. So I was like, I'll just come back to this. This is a headache, and I will, and I don't want to deal with it. Well, point one, and then point two. If I'm starting 7, which I did, I can just export that save or like whatever I get from that into 7, which gives me a better boost than like starting 7 from like driver level 25 and whatever I had. So it's like, you know what, F it. So that's what I did. Um, but yeah, it's like been really interesting because I'm just like, I'm not gonna say I like Forza better than Gran Turismo, but I kind of feel like I do because it's just the quality of life, the braking line that's like been there since the beginning. Um, like the clarity of like how you progress through the game, both how you progress through the game, and then like how your upgrades affect your vehicle, and like the performance index stuff. That's quite useful. Um, but yeah, and just the I mean, the only like yeah, I mean it's whatever, dude. It's super apples and oranges, but it's like when you're playing that game, like one entry after the other, um, it's very easy to see how they've improved it over time, and how it's like gotten to where it is, and just like they've done a good job of like keeping like similar systems and like not making it feel super bloated or whatever, getting out of hand. Like a lot of games that would like by the time they're in the seventh entry, it's like I mean that's the thing, right? That's your thing is like you kind of it's a known by then it's a known quantity and like where you stand with the game, and like for me like I've enjoyed Forza. I mean I haven't played all of them. I've only played like a few. I mean before I did the deep dive because I played the first one I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And I played the second one on 360 and I was like, yeah. And they just kept pumping them out, and it's like I just didn't have the time or money to like play them as like they just kept making them like every other year or something, because it was like Forza Horizon, Forza Horizon. It'd be like every other year, you'd have a Forza game or a Horizon game, and it's like, dude, like it got what's that word? There's a word for that. I always forget my words. I'm sorry. Saturation point. That it had a saturation point of just like there's enough Forza. You don't need any more Forza, and it was like one of the pillars of Xbox first party before the Game Pass era, where they just started buying everybody, and it was like you had Gears, you had Forza, you had Fable, you had Halo. That was like the 4 pillars of Xbox, and it's just like you kind of like know how you feel about those games, and it's like that's whole other can of worms, but it's like yeah, in my opinion or in my mind, it became like the just like one of the Xbox franchises that is like always around, and like you either like it or you don't. So or it's like yeah, it's like you either like it or you don't, and then like they make so many that it's like I don't even know if like new fans have a chance to try it out and be like, oh, how I feel about this, when they're always like, it just seems like there's always a new one. So it's like there's never a good jumping on point, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But then it seems like that's what they're trying to do with this current one, because they cut out the number at the end because it's like Forza 8. That would have been there's 8 of these things, and it's been around. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like there's 8 Forza games. There are 7 numbered Gran Turismo. There's more than 7, but there's 7 numbered ones. And then and it's like, okay, Gran Turismo's been around since PS1 era, and then how are there just as many Forza games as Gran Turismo? That's who, what? So yeah. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, and then like yeah, the car damage stuff that was like never in Gran Turismo, or like when it is in there, it's like not even close as far as like the damage modeling. I do kind of want to go back and play Project Gotham Racing now, because it's like such a sad, forgotten series, or not really a forgotten. It's just like Microsoft just like canned it, It's like they had that's a whole other can of worms. It's like yeah, it's like there's a lot of good like legacy games and like series, I feel like, on Xbox that they kind of killed off in the. But like I'm not sure why. Like looking back, it's like why. I mean, maybe it was like too similar to Forza, and they only need like one racing series. But it's like, dude, Project Gotham. Well, I mean, there's two issues with that, right? Because they didn't start with Bizarre Creations, whereas like Turn 10 was an internal team, I believe. And so it's like, after they bought Bizarre Creations, it's like, well, we don't need two for racing series. So it's like, hmm. But then it's like, where are they now? Like, what are they doing now? And then like even Turn 10, I think, doesn't exist, and now it's like Playground Games is working on Forza, or at least Horizon. I could be wrong. I might be wrong. Whatever. But yeah, dude, it's just it makes me want to go back and play the Project Gotham. I almost forgot the name. I just said it. Project Gotham. Because it's like, yeah, there's an era of like fun arcade racers, or just like, yeah, it just seemed like it was like an era when there's like more racing games. But then I guess, yeah, it's like a weird, like if I drew like a graph, right, it'd be like is that a parabola or like a reverse parabola? I can't remember, the one that goes up and like the one that goes down, or that's a sine wave. Like one's a sine wave, one's a parabola. Anyway, so it's like, you have like a bunch of a proliferation of like this genre, but then it like declines. It doesn't really decline per se, but it's like, you have consolidation of like the amount of games and series and whatnot. Um, I feel like we're on the other end of like that for like basically everything, because you've got, during like PS4, PS3, 360, Xbox One era, the last 10 years before this, you've got like a bunch of things and games and just like they exist, but then it's like there's usually like the top one or two, but then like everything else that's like not those is just chasing the trend, or just like they don't do anything unique or different to stand out from like the things at the top. And so it's like, you've got like you've got like the two or three at the top, and then everything else that's like trying to like get there, and then not, it's a whole thing. But like, it's like you have ideas thrown around of like, oh, how can they improve this? How can they improve that? And or like they're just not going to try to improve. They're just going to copycat, and like, that's, I feel like that's a lot of what's going on now in the games of service and battle royale space. It's like, okay, well, Fortnite's super popular, and everything is just like, oh, let's use the effing battle pass model, live service. I've watched so many videos about this lately on YouTube. I'm not going to get into it, but like the whole battle pass live service, it is the cancer that everybody says it is, because it's like, dude, I'm so over it. Like I played the Exoprimal beta, I was like, pass. I mean, only in regards of like, because I saw the presentation, right, and it's like we have got like a gajillion seasons on our roadmap, and here's our battle pass, and it's like, dude, I just want to kill dinosaurs, or not. Okay, that's not what I want to. I just want to shoot, or I just want to like, I just want to do combat with dinosaurs. Okay, I don't want to, or just like even then, it's like I feel like they're like not even like they're like barely scratching the surface with dinosaurs. It's like, okay, dinosaurs, but like you could have did something more. It's like, I mean, Horizon has robot dinosaurs. You could have did zombie dinosaurs. You could have did insert word here, space dinosaurs. I don't know. It's like, but no, you chose like basic Earth dinosaurs and like nothing special about them. So it's kind of like, eh. It's like magic dinosaurs, just insert word here of like thing dinosaurs, and it's like, no, just plain dinosaurs. And it's like, so you're telling me you have a 4-player co-op game and you're just killing dinosaurs, and it's like, yeah. I mean, whatever, dude. It's like, I don't know. For me, I feel like it's just like that's just in my brain. I feel like that's like a missed opportunity for Capcom in that specific game, because it's like dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are kind of popular, and like you just have a game of killing dinosaurs. You could do a lot more of that, man. Or just like, more than killing dinosaurs. It's like, could you just incorporate some other things besides the murder? Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, how did I get on? Oh, live service games. That's a whole other can of worms. I'm not gonna make a video about that. It could be its own thing. Just there's so many: Anthem, Destiny, FN, Fall Guys, FN. There's so many. Like all the games that like died recently. That's the whole thing. Multiverses, all those. Yeah, a bunch of fighting games had that too, and it's like, what the f? It's a whatever. Okay, okay. And then there's like there's like a bit of a conflation there with like free to play and like whatever. But just it's a mess. It's a giant mess. I don't know what I was talking about. I talked about like the thing about like we're in the era of like post consolidation because it seems like there were so many like studio closures and like publishers dying, and then it's like we're basically just like left at like what we've got is what we got, and so it's like whoever's left now is just like has survived the the whatever and so now we're just in an era of consolidation or like post consolidation because it's like well there's still consolidation because like Microsoft's like hey let's go buy some publishers for Game Pass. That's all they can worms too as far as like I don't know, man. I don't know. I that yeah. Did you whatever? All right. I am off topic. I'm sorry. Like I said, sometimes it's just like tangent. Focus. All right. Log it up. So yeah. Besides the Forza thing, so we got the Forza thing. Final Fantasy 16 is done. New Game Plus and first playthrough. So I'm on third playthrough. I haven't really gone back to it. Like I'm not at the part where you leave Hideaway on the third playthrough. So I'm just like coming back to that to play whenever I'm like feeling like playing it. But it's just like, dude, I read the thing wrong when I got New Game Plus, and I thought you get like new scenes, but it's just new stuff that you get like in that. But then it's whatever, dude. There's other stuff in the game, and like there's like doors I come to, and I'm like, how do I open this door? And like Clive says something, and I'm like, how do I open this door? Like, I mean, I didn't do all the side quests in the New Game Plus. I'm not sure if there's like a key or if it has to do with those statue things for like the score mode thing, but I couldn't get that, so I was like, whatever. And I didn't really do arcade modes. There's that too, but it's just like, whatever, dude. Like, just some of that stuff in that game, I'm not feeling too hot about, doing or interacting with, or whatever. So I just didn't really bother with it. Whatever. I'm not gonna get too into Final Fantasy 16. At the end of the day, the game is not bad, but it's not great. It's a completely fine, good game, but just. I mean, for me personally, I said this when I tweeted about it. Was like, it's not. I know it's not a turn-based, but I prefer turn-based. And then like for what it does as an action RPG, it's okay, but like there are levels of things it's missing, or it just feels like that's like gutted from its innards, of just like it's missing. Like there's no elemental stuff. I mean, they kind of explain it away with the whole primal thing, or that was the other thing, dude. Is like after playing so much 14 and playing this, my like my what's the word called terminology. I kept saying all the 14 stuff when I was playing it, because after 13 I was out. I was like done with Final Fantasy for a while anyway. I wasn't off the team. I was just like kind of just like, we'll see what happens. And then 14's in a MMO. I hadn't played it until like recently, so it's like whatever. I don't play MMOs. 15, I was like, this is just verses, and you put the name on the game, Final Fantasy. Like that's cheating. That's not how that works in it. Tetsuya Nomura. And then after playing 14, I was like, okay, it reinvigorated me and reignited my passion for it, because I was like, dude, 14 is like the best. And then okay, 16 came out and it's by the same development team, so I was like, oh yeah. And then but then I played it, but that's the thing. It's like going in, it looked very action RPG, and then I didn't watch the presentation until after I finished the game to like watch the presentation and like watch all those videos because I didn't want to spoil anything before. And then like I guess like I mean it makes sense, right? They're saying it's an action RPG, but all action RPG, and it is. But man, it's just like there's like watching the credits, dude, and like I see that part where it's like Platinum Games, and I'm like, yeah, I can feel it in there that it was like a little bit of sprinkling of like that Platinum action. 'Cause there's some really good, dude. There's okay. Here's the problem with this. It's like 16 is like it's so inconsistent, because it's like you have the boss fights that are just like up to 11, like nothing else current gen comes close to it, in my opinion. It is like it's what makes the game. Like those icon fights, just like god tier. Like don't even try it. Like everybody else, like just give up. I mean, don't give up, but it's just like good effing luck topping that. But then it's like your effing like bread and butter just like whatever combat, it kind of gets still like, I'm not gonna say, I don't know how long it how long into the game it gets still, but you they do give you like new abilities after every boss fight, but it's like, dude, I was kind of like, I'm not. I mean, I was never over it, but it was just like, there's a time, there's after a certain point, you're just like, this doesn't feel any different than a turn-based game of like, okay, this is the combat, and this is where I'm stuck, you know, fighting things for the next 50 hours or whatever. So it wasn't that much of a drag because it was, fun, except for the fact, well, okay, I should put asterisk because I used like one of those accessories that was like the auto combo system because I was like, dude, I'm not gonna like, I don't feel like playing like a 50-hour Devil May Cry game of just like manually inputting combo strings pass. So I was like, I'm just gonna auto combo it, and that was, that made it like super like just brainless and button mashy though. But it's like, I did enjoy it. Like visually anyway. That was visually. Also the music's just like cannot dude, music is like on another level as well. It's just that type of, like okay. I said I wouldn't go too far in on 16, but man, 16 is not even good. But then like that's the other like the problem is like 16 is like good, like I said, but it's not great. Like I played it and then like I was thinking about this like the other day. I was like, Near Automata, is it better? And I was like, I would say yes. And it's like, hurts, but it's true in my opinion. And I'm just like thinking about it. I'm just like, mm. But then it's like Near Automata's like really like, it's really up there. So it's like, and it has like those, those effing moments too. And it's just like, dude, just, so it's like, on the one hand, 16 an action RPG in the series. The first one in like the main line. That's your thing. I feel like this kind of maybe should have been like a spin-off, or just like if they take like some of the elements of what's the Jack game, the Origins or whatever game, and they like I just feel like this could be like a really cool spin-off if they like a side series if they just like took all the melee combat classes like Dragoon, Monk, Ninja, Fighter, FN, like Paladin, Knight. Okay, anything that uses like sword and shield, like sword, knives, and sticks with pointy ends, spears, halberds, all that crap. So it's like, if you take all that, Dragoons, I said Dragoon. I'm just annoyed because like a Dragoon's in the game, but they like make them evil, and I'm just like, dude, come on. Okay, there's more than one Dragoon, but it's like, it's a whole thing with like the Dragoon Corps of like the Sambrick or whatever. There's the faction thing is the Bahamut people, and like the Dragoons are the whatever, but then they aren't kind of good because it's like, Bahamut's like, I'm not gonna let this happen, but man, that's the other thing. Is like the story's like the stories takes like a bunch of weird turns getting to the end, man. And then you get there, and I was kind of like, I mean, it wasn't bad. Like I said, it's just, I, yeah. I enjoyed it, but like, I've got so many qualms about it now. Like looking back on it, whereas like Near Automata, I'm just like, yeah. I'm just like, I will like hands down recommend Near Automata. Final Fantasy 16. It's a very pretty game. I'll say that, and it's like, nice to look at. And if you put auto combo on, it's super easy, like maybe a bit too easy. And then, but yeah, at the end of the day, I did enjoy it. I did enjoy the experience, so there's that. But I completely forgot what I was talking about. I'm sorry. I'm like, how did I even get on 16? I said I wouldn't talk about it, and I'm tangenting onto it and trying to like eject back off of it. Oh, the Near Automata thing. But like, yeah, dude, like, it had, yeah. I feel like there's like a what's the thing called? And like a formula there, over the top action, awesome soundtrack, like. But the thing, I mean, there's a lot of things that, like 16 does good or like on par with Nier, but then it's like because it has like the legacy, it's kind of like weighed down in my opinion. Like I was like, dude, I can't control my party members. Like, effing the crafting is kind of the crafting, whoo. Whew, the crafting, dude, like, just let down. Effing let down. Just don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. I just remembered. I was just like, oh, that's right. The crafting is trash. That's right. And then it's like the party members that you get, it's like what happened to like the party members that we get, and we have like a 50-hour like epic, found family that we have for like 50 hours. This one, it's like tag her in, tag her out, and it's like, oh, it's just effing Clive and Torgal, Clive and his dog, for like very long stretches. And it's like, or you get people that join your party, and it's like, oh, dude, I haven't seen you in like 20 years. And it's like, oh, maybe we could have a conversation about what you've been up to. No, okay. And it's just like, it's like, I was like, it's like, it's like sometimes you're like, please don't exposition dump. But this time it was like, where is my exposition dump? And it's just like, and it's just also effing, yeah, man, effing, Yote deserved better is all I say. Because man, that's a cool character, and it's like, oh man, I'm waiting for her to like do some cool stuff and like kill a bunch of people. It never happened. I was like, oh man, is this the part? Is this the part? And it's like, it doesn't happen. And it's like, oh, it, yeah, man. The pacing is off. The pacing is off. You just don't. Okay. I'm moving on from 16. It's still a good game. I don't want to like sound like I'm like hating on it, but it's just there are a lot of things that irked me. It's on stream. I like played it twice. Whatever. Started a third playthrough. I'll get through it, but at the end of the day, it's like it's a thing, and I would say I didn't put it in my top. It's definitely not my top three, and it's easily not in my top five of like the entire like numbered entries. I mean, that being said, asterisk, it is not a turn-based game. And it's like I prefer turn-based. It wasn't turn-based. It's also not a lot of other things like the crafting and the party system and the very few party members that you get when you get them, when they're there, when they're not sidelined, and it's like, I mean, like the most funniest compliment I can give this game is it has like the most heavy lifting by a non-humanoid okay, that's not probably not true, of a like dog slash wolf slash whatever companion character that like just carries the game. Because Torgal, dude, without Torgal, what would this game be? Is all I'm gonna say. It's like if Torgal was a chocobo, he would be all of our favorite chocobos, but he's not. And it's like I feel like that's a missed opportunity. They should have made him a chocobo, and we would have all been like, "Oh man, Torgal, best chocobo ever." But like, I mean, it makes sense. It's whatever. But then like, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry to like keep saying I'm gonna stop talking about it and then talking about it. But like 16 is just I haven't talked about it. I just thought about it. That's probably why. It's like in my brain. It's just like oh, it's been percolating. but like 16 to me it kind of like solidified that like high fantasy is like when the series is at its best, because it was just like a cool, element, story element slash mechanic slash whatever of like each nation state has like their own primal icon summon monster whatever, and then like sometimes that person's the head of state, sometimes they're just like a slave that fights for the country, sometimes they're like called upon in the hard time, and like when it needs to be defended, or it's just like it's in the bloodline of the royal family, or just I thought that was a whole like cool thing of like how that was handled. That was like a cool element, um, as opposed to the whole like branded and like vassal state of like slave and slave owners, and it wasn't really handled very good. I don't want to talk about it. It's a whole thing. But yeah, the Chloe side quest, if you know, that was that. Every time I play that, I'm just like, oh, that one hurts. That one hurts every time I play it, and it's like, but you get that so many times in that game, and it's like there's like a certain amount of the populace in that game that's just like unredeemable in my opinion, and it's like kind of hard to feel sorry for them or feel like not like I want to like not like I want to have the blight just completely kill everybody, or like majority of them. Just saying, they deserve it. So yeah. Okay, I need to move on from Final Fantasy 16. It was a good game, and as you can see, I have strong feelings about it. I'm not gonna say it's bad because it's not bad, but it's not. Like I said, it's not great, but it's good. It's not bad, but it's not great. It's a whole thing I could talk about, but I'm not going to. So I mean, I probably talked about it on stream when I was playing it. Just like I was like half asleep all the time, so I was just like playing, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna keep playing and just like stream of consciousness while I talk about the game while I play it, and just like sometimes I do that sometimes. So I'm sure there's like plenty of like whatever things I said about it, and how I felt. Telltale's back. The Expanse. I mean, I think the next episode's in August, which is a bummer. I mean, next month is August, but it's like episodes are spaced out pretty good. But to alleviate the waiting, I'm thinking about playing a bunch of Telltale stuff or just like certain stuff. For sure, I'm playing Jurassic Park because I haven't gotten around to it, and I'm like, dude, I've always wondered how is this Jurassic Park game, and I'm doing it because I hooked up the PS3 because the 360 was hooked up, and I was like, let me just swap out the HDMI cables, boom, and it worked. I mean, I needed to like hook up my HDCP stripper, but like besides that, because I was like, wait a minute, isn't there HDCP on this? And I was like, oh, there is, because I hooked it up, and I was like, this isn't working. And my thing was like HDCP, not how. It's a whole thing. It's basically just DRM, so you can't like. It's whatever. It's just look it up. HDCP is basically just like some weird DRM for like the HDMI signal, so you can't like pirate stuff. I guess it's annoying, but hey, I found a way around it, so I don't care. Where are we at on time? Okay, 30 minutes. All right. I was thinking this would be like a not long one, because I'm like, dude, I can talk without getting stuck on Final Fantasy for 20 minutes. I'm every time I'm like, I love how every time I'm doing a channel taken lately, I'm like, oh man, I can just do it like the old days and just bang one out and just boom boom boom, just go down the list of what I've been playing, what's on the channel, whatever, because nothing's happening anyway. I have a boring life, nothing happens. And then I'm talking about these games, and I'm just like, I mean, I know what the solution is. The solution is I need to just like start another podcast and just like talk about this crap every week. But like effing ready because I don't have that yet. Whenever I do a channel taken now, it's just like super duper like inflated to like longer than what it should be or what it used to be. So I'm sorry about that. That's just the way it is. Whatever. But yeah, the Expanse Telltale's back. It's great. I loved the first episode. I'm just it's like yes, I just breathed it in, and I was like, this is what I've been missing for like however many years it's been gone, and it's back, and like you get all that good stuff of like so and so will remember, or like you got to make a choice. It's like, oh man, I don't. But then it's like on this one, it's weird because there's no bar, so there's no like time limit of like, what do I do? What do I do? So it's like you get to actually okay. I kind of enjoyed like them taking away the time meter or the time limit of like you better do something, dude. Oh no, and just like you have to like in the moment make a decision under pressure. But now they've like taken that away, so it's kind of weird. But then it still works because it's like, oh dude, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And it's like, yeah, it's still and then you have like decisions that have so many consequences and repercussions, and it's just like I'm weighing this in real time of like, what do I do here? Should I do this? And it's like, cannot be touched. Cannot be touched. Without equal. There's just Wolf Among Us 2, I cannot wait. Just this is good. This is fun. Expanse. I've never seen the Expanse, just like I never saw The Walking Dead when I was playing that game. So it's like but there's only like what 4 or 5 seasons. So I can maybe go back and watch it. I'm never gonna go watch it. I'm always like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go watch the Expanse, and I never do. But that's a whole like can of worms. I'm kind of like done with watching shows and crap. It's like I'm playing games. Like, why would I watch a TV show anyway? So it's like, yeah. And there's episodic. Like I said, I'll probably just play some more Telltale stuff. But I will for sure, like I said earlier, Baldur's Gate. Try to start that. First 2 games, get through those. That's the goal. Cause where's my phone at? Oh man, I forgot about the phone thing. I forgot I have a visual aid when I'm doing these. But I effing man, I'm sorry. I started this video wrong again, like I always do. But I want to say, let's just start. Like okay. Anyway, I don't know if I talked about this last time, but 2,000 subs, everybody. Thanks. I think I did because I said I will go back and do like the the Mass Effect stuff I've been talking about, of like whenever I get to 2,000. I'll get it done eventually. Just right now is like I'm playing Forza and then Baldur's Gate. I mean, yeah, I could. I played Mass Effect plenty of times on the channel. It's whatever. I was going through my stuff and I was like, my stuff. I was looking through stuff on the channel. I was like, man, there's a playthrough on PS3 I haven't even finish because I was looking on my PS3 as far as like what was on there, and I was like, oh yeah, Mass Effect was on here, and I didn't finish the playthrough, did I? And I was like, I didn't. Awesome. Then Legendary Edition came out, makes up for it, I think. I played it on PS5. It's a PlayStation console. Apples and oranges, whatever. Tomato, tomato. Uh, yeah, over 2,000 subs. And I am close to getting a revenue payout, so yay to that. 100 dare. Yes, 100 dare. Yes, $100. Um, oh, I was gonna say something. I completely forgot. It was about something on my release date schedule. So yeah, August is Sea of Stars. September is Starfield. Oh man, October sucks because it's like 2 games, I believe. Three. Well, it's three, but it's like, dude, I'm not getting 3 games in 1 month because it's like, it's not happening. It's like, I'm just gonna pick one, and if I get through that, okay. Well, the problem is like one is Forza, one is Spider-Man, right? So it's like obviously I'll play through Spider-Man in like a week or something, whatever, and then Forza will be out, and I'll just play that, and then yeah. So it's actually funny too because like I I moved Gran Turismo off of my storage on PS5 onto the external drive, so it's not even on there anymore. And I completely forgot I was trying to go for like the play game every day thing when it does like your wrap of the year. And I was like, oh no, I'm not going to get it anymore because I stopped playing that every day. But playing that every day kind of made me kind of start to like hate that game because I was just like, dude, the credit payout is not good. It's all the can of worms. Oh, I guess I did get Five Forever, didn't I? But can get this focused. All right, so yeah, Five Forever. I don't know, dude. It's okay. Like I haven't really started my creative wrestler career mode. Dude, this always like goes out of focus. But it's all right. I've not really been playing it besides the online multiplayer. Um, there we go. And then Expanse came out, picked it up. It's great. Sea of Stars, Baldur's Gate 3. It's gonna get picked up later, and Spider-Man 2, and Forza for sure. Lamplighters League, not so much. Um, and I think November, December, I'm not even gonna worry about it, like, cause that's when my job gets super crazy. It's like I have to work a lot. Let's just say that, and it's like that for. It feels like a long time. It's, it is a long time, and by the end of it, I'm like, whoa, and just yeah. So I don't even know. Well, currently there's nothing in December or November, I guess. So I guess that works out. But then whatever. Um, but yeah, what was I saying about? I don't even know. Why did I want to show this? There must. I mean, there is WrestleQuest coming out, so I'm thinking about getting that. I probably will. Mm, no reason not to. Oh, there was this service that came out for Xbox. It's like a streaming retro thing. Uh, it's called like Antstream Archives Interact. Antstream Interactive. I wish I had it in front. I could pull it up in front of me if I wanted to. I guess I'll try that real quick. But I haven't got it yet. I'm not sure if it is actually like you download the games or you stream them. But then I did want to like get that to try to stream a bunch of retro stuff that I don't have. That's probably on there. So that's useful in that regard. What else? I'm trying to think. Why did I want to pull out the FN release date? That seems super. Oh, just to show like the one game, right? Sea Stars. It's in the month, so I've got like an empty schedule here, and then Destiny is still Destiny. Less said the better. Just weekly rage in that game. And Stream Arcade. There we go. That's what it's called. So I'm just getting to like the whatever, dude. Less said about Destiny 2 is like the better. I just do like the weekly seasonal stuff if there's nothing else out, and then it's like I'm just leveling up the season pass. So I'm getting to 100. Oh, I do want to say I did go to the lighthouse. That video is going up maybe today, maybe tomorrow, whatever. I need to edit it, so that was cool. So that was nice. Let's see. I think. Okay, let me let me look at the rest of the segments real quick before I jump ahead. So that's basically the videos I'm working on. Cause like I'm not really working on anything else really. I don't think. I mean, there's other stuff I'm playing. I'm not playing on stream. Like, but I'm not really air quote playing because Fantasy Star Universe 2. I just log in every day to get the free items. I don't really play it. I would like to. There's a Tower of Fantasy game coming out, but it looks a lot like Genshin, and Genshin was not good. Don't even get me started on that. um, I think I don't. Whatever. Play through streams. That's what's going on lately. Change the stuff on the channel. Oh, actually, I just remembered something. Since I did have my 360 hooked up, and now my PS3, it's like I can play older stuff. So that's cool. So, man, it's. I said like I don't know how many episodes ago this was as far as Chaiwo Tekken. I said something about the effect of or not the something to the effect of like I have like I haven't like actually sat down and like written this all out, but it's like there is like the three tiers, right? Where it's like you've got new release stuff, and then you've got retro stuff, and then you've got backlog stuff. I think I've got the order wrong, whatever, but I need to like go through all of my games and just like tier like list everything I want to play because I need to come up with the death list anyway, which is like stuff I want to play before I die. And then like beyond that, it's like after you got the death list, you go through and like tier it as far as like what do I want to play the most. So Xenosaga 2, I would really like to play that game. I've played the first one, but then I don't have Xenosaga 3, which makes me sad, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know to bother. Um, there's probably like a ton of JRPGs, honestly, that are on that list. Like Final Fantasy 6 is definitely on that one. I got far in that one, and I just stopped 1 year. So I need now that the retro or the FN rem, or Pixel remaster is out, I can stream that one pretty easily. Um, but yeah, there's just like a lot of stuff like that I need to do as far as making lists and then making stuff from the lists. And then there is stuff I do want to do on the channel, like change it, like I wouldn't say significantly, but there's stuff like on the channel that I want to work toward and stuff, and like fix it and like change it or whatever. That's the whole thing. Or just like make another channel. I've said that before about like other stuff, or just like have it be like more organized. So I'm thinking of just like at some point making another channel and then wrapping up all the playlists that I have going on this channel, or like the ones that I didn't get around to that just like fell off that I put on the back burner. I never finished. I need to go back to those and finish them. I think I might do that in 2024. It's like 2024 is just like all about unfinished business and like don't do anything new on the channel, and like it's just gonna be old stuff and like finishing all the old stuff that I never got around to or like didn't go back to or I left unfinished. Like effing Theofield Chronicle. That game is from last year. I'm pretty sure I'm really close to the end. I just haven't finished it. I need to go back and finish it. So it's just stuff like that, Or like the Mass Effect playthrough I was talking about. At least finish the first game, because it's like we all know how the second and third game go, and that character is basically like how I play all the other ones. But then I'll probably go ahead and play through the first or the second and third, because why not? I don't think no. I did the final season of Walking Dead for one of my playthroughs, but the problem is I like a PC and PlayStation playthroughs. I think I only finished one, but it's such a bummer. I don't want to go back and finish it because it's just man. It makes me think about like the fact that we're never going to get another Walking Dead game in that style, or maybe we do. I don't know, but it's such a bummer. Can't really think of any other stuff I don't have unfinished. Oh, Final Fantasy 14. I need to catch back up on the MSQ on that game because the next expansion, woo, that's coming out. That got announced. The something something Charles. I keep wanting to say the name of it. I know I'm gonna get it wrong because I'm not gonna say it. I want to say like the fan trail is like what it's called, but it's something else. Let me try to find it. It should be on here. Please be on here. No, okay. I'm on it right now. I'm like on my PlayStation, but it's of course not Foot Trails. Is that what it was called? Anyway, it's something Trails. I haven't played that in forever. I'm behind, quite behind, and I'd like to be caught up by the time the expansion's out, which I probably will be, but I can go play that now. But yeah, I wanted to do this and have it be less than an hour long, so that's where I'm at. And then for the other segments in the thingy, in the in the chairman tag, I don't think there's anything else to talk about as far as changes and stuff on the channel. Nothing happening. I mean, I'm always like brainstorming, but it's like I never really get past the brainstorming phase a lot, which is whatever. IRL stuff is basically, man. I had something for IRL stuff I wanted to talk about. Oh, dude. Okay, funny story. Super random. But I was on eBay yesterday because I got an email from GameStop about like half. It wasn't half off. It was like $50 off of PS4s, and I looked at the prices, and I was like, dude, I'm not paying that. But then I was like, why am I looking at PS4s? And I was like, why do I need a PS4? And I was like, well, it's a lot easier to play VR games for one. And I was like, also the store on the PSN is like just not good on PS5. I mean, or just like when you're trying to find PS4 stuff, like on the store for the PS5, it's annoying. So it's like so it's like I got like there's like these very petty and silly reasons, but I ended up getting two PS4s on eBay, so those will probably be here by next episode at least. And then also it's in my I'm a ding dong because I was like, dude, I can use my Elgato, but then I was like, wait a minute, I could probably use it on my PS5. I just haven't tried it. Cause I'm pretty sure if I put it on output to the 1080p, it would probably work. I just haven't tried it, so now I'm like, I'm stupid, and I just wasted an undisclosed sum I'm not gonna say, because it's kind of a lot, but whatever. And yeah, it's funny too, because I just paid off my credit card, and then like the next thing I know, I'm like, dude, I put more stuff on my credit card after I paid it off, and it's like, whatever. It's like I passed the marshmallow test, so honestly, it's like not even, you know, it's whatever. I'll get through it again. I'll pay it all off again, and just be like this time. Well, no, it's actually needed for something, but effing after I don't need it for anything else, just like stop using it because what the f. But then I won't because it's like you're not supposed to do that. But whatever, it's a whole can of worms. Um, but yeah, PS4's incoming. I mean, I don't need a PS4 to play PS4 games because I play PS5, but whatever. Um, is that everything? Videos I'm working on, just playthroughs and streams. I'm pretty sure it's everything. I guess it. I mean, yeah, I've been playing pretty regular on Twitch as well. To get through Forza, because like every day I've been trying to stream that game and like get through it, a bit by bit. Get to drive level 25, but on 7, I'm gonna actually. Oh, sorry. Yeah, like I said, like before, my laptop's on a chair, so if I like do anything to the chair or the laptop, it's gonna like shake. So if it does that, I'm sorry. That's me. I'm sorry about that. But Forza, since the next one is not, or the next one is a new one, and I'm on 7, which is the last one. I'm kind of curious if I just. Well, it's probably not. I don't think it's gonna pull the save data though. It like, or at least like all of it. It's probably just gonna reward you for playing the game. So I don't need to like 100% it, but I kind of want to go back and 100% all of them, honestly, or just like get, through all the championships, just because I've already started down the path, right? So if I remember correctly, I think. Well, no, I haven't finished any of them. And then I did actually copy my save from 2 on 360 to USB drive, so I will just like redelete that once I get to 100% again, which is kind of weird, but whatever. I think I do kind of want to go through and like, if not just like finish all the events. Well, no, yeah, finish all the events, I guess, because I think 100% of them is probably gonna take more time, so it's like not worth the time. Just like I'll just play through all the championships and like finish all that stuff up. Because 100% is just like way too much time, and I'd rather just be doing other things. Um, so yeah, I can always just come back to Forza at the end of the day. So there's that. Vlogs. Ugh. I whatever. Brainstorming phase, not past it. I always have like some effing random idea, but I never get around to it. Changing stuff on the channel, nothing changing IRL stuff. I had some IRL stuff besides the PS4 thing, I think, but since I don't actually use my outline, it's just old stuff on here, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. Anywho, Sea of Stars is this month. WrestleQuest, I believe, maybe as well. I don't know. There's some other stuff coming out this month, besides Sea of Stars, I'll probably pick it up. I don't know. It's not, but that's the thing is like they're not $60 games, and they're smaller, indie or not indie, but they're just smaller games. They're like not as expensive. So, but once September gets here, it's Starfield time, so I'm looking forward to that. Um, Baldur's Gate 3, those, yeah. Baldur's Gate 3 basically goes to the back of the line and has to wait for like a while because, yeah. Why did they do that? I don't know. Whatever. Whatever, man. Everybody else enjoy it. I will be not playing it, so. Spider-Man 2 is in October. Forza is as well. I'm pretty sure I can get through Spider-Man 2 before Forza comes out. It's like, come on, dude. Like, did it take me a week to get through Final Fantasy 16? That's the other thing is like I've been playing stuff like this year because usually I don't do this. I usually don't like before this year. I believe I was on like the wait and get it half off. Right, that was like the old strat, or just like the way I did it before. So I'll probably go back to that. But like this was nice to like just play every new release game that I wanted to play. No, I did that last year too actually, and actually like play it and enjoy it. I guess that's like the PS5 era thing, right? It's like PS5, man, effing new stuff. If it's all nice and shiny in 4K, like, why would I wait for it to be half off and play? I think it is PS5. Before PS5, I was doing, like, the whole wait for it to be half off thing. I don't remember. Anyway. But yeah, there's always new stuff coming out in the current modern era. So, but then I've got plenty of backlog stuff to go back and play if I was like, oh, I'm just gonna, like, not buy any games and then we'll save money or something. But yeah. But I'd rather just play all the new releases as they come out because that's more fun. Yeah, I rambled on long enough, and that's what I've been playing. Yeah, yeah, maybe some Fantasy Star Online too eventually. I would like to get. Yeah, that's the whole thing. But like, I need to do something with that game on my channel because I like to, or I load into it every day. I just don't play it, and I need to get to playing it because yeah. But I think the problem is like once Destiny 2 is like such a like it's an elephant in the room. That's why I don't talk about it because it takes up so much time. So it's like once Final Shape is out and I'm done with that, I'm done with that stupid game, and it's like now that's like that being said, like even now, it's like because I'm better at like whatever my time, I can just like play it a bit here and there. But yeah, once it's gone, and I can just just like just like Final Fantasy 16, I'll just be done with everything in like a week, and then that'll be nice. So yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but that's something to that effect. Anyway, I'm gonna sign it off here. There's probably more I wanted to say. I really need to start using my actual outline on my phone and not just like, oh yeah, let me pull it up. Oh, this is all old. This is all old text from like months or years ago, and I haven't updated it. Ugh. All right, whatever. So yeah, that's it for this month's Chan Taken. Until next time. So I hope Sea Stars is awesome. If you don't know what Sea Stars is, it's basically kind of similar. Well, not kind of similar. Just go look at it. If you're in the Chrono Trigger, you'll like it probably. It's an old school JRPG, which is kind of interesting to play that so close to 16. Oh man, FN 16. But yeah, Starfield next month. Yes, that's all I've been playing. So until you see or hear from me again, and that's all the stuff for Channel Taken this month. Links in the bottom and all that stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever. I'm trying to like sign off because I haven't done this in a while where I actually sign off at the end. And then yeah, like I said, thanks to all the subscribers because yeah, watch time goes up and my monetization keeps going. But yeah, until you see or hear from me again, thanks for watching, and I'm now signing off.